this is Spidey1958 and welcome to a new short Let's Play of Low Magic Age, one of the other RPGs I've been looking at. This one is also based on D&D and is an isometric like Baldur's Gate. So, it originally came out for Arena, but they've added an adventure mode, which is what we'll be playing. It has workshop support, but only really for like graphics. At this point, though they will probably add more. It's got its own wiki, credits, all that. Let's look at the options quick. You got the standard graphics, audio, battle here. I don't think we want to change anything. Adventure mode is autosave. Let's go ahead and turn on auto reload if we have ammunition. Let's show damage dice. And let's change this to standard random. Okay, that should do that. So let's go to the adventure mode. And we will create a new adventure. Level cap, let's set it for 20. Normal level up speed. Actually, let's set it for a faster level up speed. Let's set it for the fastest because basically I'm not going to play this as a long play because as you'll see it's very repetitive and there's a quest line that you sort of have to advance through, but it's not really that detailed. World. That's the seed if you want to know. Town data, dungeon, adventure start point. We'll leave all that. Leave all those default. We do not want manual. Well, let's do a manual level up after we hire people. I don't think we're going to do it. Hire people, but you never know. Okay. So now we can select people or we can create people. So let's go ahead and create a new party just so you can see the creation system. At least a couple. So let's go for a custom because I don't like to use pre-builds. Now if you use a pre-build from their list out there, you don't get to do the level ups. You have to take whatever they want. So human, dwarf, elf, let's go off a human. And we're going to be a fighter, so let's make their bonus ability strength. I wish it was on a later screen, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and go next. And we're going to go with a fighter. So this is one of the differences here is weapon proficiencies. You get some weapon proficiencies. Let's see. Let's have them go heavy blade and bow. And we want a good strength. We want at least a 13. Let's go ahead with 14. And let's get a strength up. I'm going to actually put a couple in intelligence, I think. Actually, I don't think it affects our... Well, it might affect our points. We'll put a couple there. And a couple there. Now, I could have maxed out strength. I mean, we can see if we can do that. At this point, we would need... Now, let's go ahead and see if we can do a 20 strength. It's going to hurt us on some skill points, which are sort of important, as you'll discover later. Okay, so we have 3 feats to take. So let's go ahead and take our weapon focus. This gives us a plus hit on all are proficient weapons, so it affects both bows and heavy blades. And let's see, let's take toughness and dodge. You can select a portrait. I've actually imported some other portraits from the store. So not all of these are standard in the game, but you can get them from the workshop. Oh, what would be a good fighter look? Let's go with that one. And I'm planning sword and shield, so let's see if we can find a good sword and shield one. It's a cleric. So now no gear shows up, it's basically just a flat icon. So this game is very low key compared to a lot of higher end games, but you'll see that it's very flexible and roguelike. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go with this one. Next. And finish. And we went with the default name. And I think I'll just pick out other characters I had already designed. So we'll pick up a cleric, a rogue, a wizard, a barbarian, and another fighter. You open eyes slowly, dizziness still clouding your thoughts. A young woman sat across you looking down, concern painted over her face. Goddess bless, you're finally awake. How do you feel? Do you remember what happened? I feel dizzy. Who are you? Did you save me? I am Aline. And if you click on this, I guess you don't. I thought it was a hyperlink. We found you passed out along the beach. You're an adventurer, aren't you? But not from this land. The lady looked at you over and asked, are you here alone or with your companions? I came with several others. Did you see them? We only found you. My companion Todd has been searching for them, but as yet has uncovered no clues. We must haste to track them, for many monsters wander around this stretch of coastline, Aline said anxiously. We better prepare for a fight should you wish to save your companions. Are you ready? Yes, let's go at once. I don't want to risk losing any of my friends. And we get our first quest here. Basically, we want to search the coastline. And we get our first tutorial message here. By default, its time is paused, and then when you move, time moves on. And if you notice here, the cleric is the only character I have here. Whatever the first one in the highest up in the list you select becomes your main character. So keep that in mind, that if you're creating an all new party and you want your main, you have to create that first. I hope we can avoid this, because we probably would die horribly if we don't. So we may die horribly here. Well, maybe not. Oh, there's a lot of stuff along the coast. Searching along the coastline, you soon find some obvious traces of a struggle written across the sands of the beach. You see a smattering of messy footprints, some human-sized, but most smaller. Fortunately, after further exploration, you make a discovery: a backpack buried under the sand and a few scattered potions, your companions' belongings. Use the tracks to determine which direction they headed. Onward. And we get some crossbow bolts, a light crossbow, potion of heroism, and a couple heal potions. There's a lot of stuff here. And they're all like really high challenging. If we hit one of these encounters, we are going to die horribly. So we're going to try to avoid them, which we look like we did. Ali, goblin! A young fighter rushed at you, 2 goblins trailing behind. Spears sail over his shoulders and impale the ground just in front of him. Draw your weapons! Okay, this is very much turn-based D&D style combat for the most part. There are some significant differences, mostly in the way spells work, but most of the other stuff's about the same. So you have your initiative, and each person acts within their initiative. And we can see that there's 2 bad guys, one of which we've seen, the other one we haven't, so we don't know what it is. So we're going to run up here and just hit the guy. And you saw it said 75% chance to hit. Okay, do we want you to run up and hit? Or do we want you? So let's take a 5-foot step here. Well, shield. Oh, except I blocked that square because you can't move diagonally. Well, that wasn't good. But we're done now, so let's defend. I guess we can get the oh, because we're moving between 2 party members. Critical. This tells you about the normal attacks of opportunity and threatened squares. It does tell you if a square is threatened. And we can heal you up. Not that we needed to, but now all your spells are on timers. The only real restriction on how often you can use them, I'll show you in a second. Those damn goblins, the young fighter must be a companion, Todd, the alien mentioned. After cursing the foul little beast, Todd reported the results of his search. Your companion had been taken away by a band of goblins. Unfortunately, the bulk of them broke camp by the time I picked up the trail. I killed 3 of them. The rest are no doubt with your friends. How are my companions? Are they hurt? Sorry, I couldn't see them clearly from such a long distance. They were still on their feet, though, so I doubt any are gravely wounded. Then, what shall we do now? We should move towards Spike's fortress. Direction immediately, Todd said hastily. Lucky we'll reach Spike's fortress in time to save your friends. Okay, let's head to Spike's fortress. Okay. I need to explain a few things here on the screen quick. Okay, this is your money. Pretty straightforward. Gold pieces. This is your party's load. We can carry 865. We're carrying 130. This is our supplies. Every day you use 1 supply. So we can, and it automatically camps at night. You don't get a choice. It just automatically does it. Spell materials. Every time you throw a spell that requires materials, you use a spell material. So you can only throw a max 66 spells between all your casters in your party without going to a town or something to restock. And not all towns, almost all towns have supplies. Not all towns have spell materials. And this is reputation. We don't have any yet, but it's used for stuff like whether you can get trading licenses with cities and various things like that. This is your mini map. This is your quest log. Down here, this basically gives us our character inventory and status. So let's go ahead and look at our main character. We don't want to worry about those 2. They're only temporaries. So we got a masterwork hand crossbow, which unfortunately takes a special proficiency. Now if we click here, we can equip a second weapon so that we have a backup. And we're wearing scale mail. So our armor class is 17. What are we using for a weapon? We're using a light mage. Oh, this is the cleric, that's right. And a shield. So armor class 18. Attack 8, so we're plus 8 with our mace, which isn't bad for a first level fighter, or first level anything. Plus 4 for proficiency, so you get plus 4 for all weapons if you have the proficiency. If not, you don't get it. Plus 3 for strength, plus 1 for weapon. Now I assume they adjust the armor classes to meet that, but we'll see here in a little bit. So she would need a 10 to hit herself. And these are your saves: fortitude, reflex, and will. Down here is your skills. You can see she has heal and concentration as base spells, and she has 9 feats. That doesn't seem right, but in skills, you don't actually allocate in your level up. You have a separate window, and that's because there's all sorts of crafting skills you can learn. And there are some skills like disarm and open locks that you can only learn from specific cities, but everyone can learn them. So it shows us the skills. The highest intimidate we have is 6, highest buff we have is 1, highest sense motive we have is 4, heal of 9, concentration of 2, listen of 4, search of -1. So if we go to our cleric here, we see we have 8 unassigned skill points. So we can take heal and concentration up, and that uses all the points. So let's go ahead and close this and see if we can get around our goblin friend there. Looks like we're going to make it. Spike's Fortress, as the name describes, the building can be easily identified from a long distance. However, there is no time enjoying the scenery. You find those goblins outside the building. They mill around a strange statue, preparing something without entering the fortress, leaving your companions practically unguarded. The best chance, you look at each other and pull out your weapons. So we don't actually go into the fortress. So see, we only have a 55 chance of hitting. And apparently he has cleave. By the way, archers will take a 5-foot step back if they can to shoot you. So we get a +1 light crossbow and a military 2-handed heavy blade. Courage and persistence finally paid off. Your companions were rescued with slight injury. Let them recuperate in a nearby town and they'll be good as new. Alex suggests you head to Lud. Lud is an outpost manned by the Adventurers Guild in the Eastern Continent. Lud would be an ideal place for rest and supply for adventuring parties. Besides, Elaine will be there preparing the follow-up Adventurer Guild registration issues for you. Although you and your companions have lots of questions such as what happened to your ship, you don't have any time to think on them. In other words, they're not going to ever tell you. For an adventure shipwrecked in a strange continent, heeding Elaine's advice is undoubtedly your best and only option at this point. So we completed this quest line and we got 200 experience points per PC. And we get a strength of a belt of giant strength and our invitation letter. So now we have our full party here. So let's go ahead and give you our belt of strength. We need to find you a thing. See, you use short bow, you use crossbow. We'll give you the +1 crossbow. And you need to buy lots of, you're going to go through lots of arrows and lots of bolts with your people that are primarily other stuff. So, and let's go ahead and close out of here. I don't think there's anything else here we need. Oh, potions. Let's go ahead and, you have a potion slot somewhere. At least I thought there was a potion slot. I guess there isn't a potion slot. I could have sworn there was. Ring, accessories, shoulders, head, arms, accessory, ring. Apparently I was wrong. Okay, so we want to head up there. That's a manor. We don't have locks yet, so we might as well ignore that. And a rendering monster encountered us. So let's go ahead and add delay here and have them delay. Do the same thing here. I still don't know which direction they are. Guess I could run up here and see if they're over here. Nope. So let's just defend. This is our rogue. Have them go over here and look. Ah, there they are. Giant rats. We knew there was at least giant rats in there. And it's probably going to come back to haunt me. Did I just send my mage there? Nope, that's our barbarian. Good. This is a fighter, but their specialty is bow. And this is another cleric. Ooh, sneaking up behind us, are you? If you go here, you'll see all the various actions you can take. There is no dash, so you don't get to take a second move at any point. So 75% chance our rogue there can hit. And 85% chance for our cleric, who did indeed kill one. Ooh, that's not good. So we have mage armor and summon elemental. So let's summon an elemental up here. And that elemental will immediately go and attack. And that told you about flanking, where basically you get someone on each side. Huh. And we can't 5-foot step. So let's go ahead and go berserk and hit. And shoot that. Boop. Yay. It's trying to protect our barbarian. You can see that the rough terrain there costs double. That's why the shoe was a different color. Tried to first aid herself, failed. And we got a +1 ring of energy resistance. Not horrible. Oh, and apparently that was enough for our cleric here to go up a level. So we can multi-class here. So let's go ahead and put another level in cleric. There's nothing else we can really do at this point since skill points are done outside of this tree. We don't get another feat, any of that stuff. So we're good there. Barbarian is pretty injured, but we can't do anything from it on this screen. They will automatically heal overnight. So we get 100 experience points and 200 gold from going here. We need the necessary preparations. We need to have at least 5 in our party. We have 6. And we need 10 supplies. So we can't buy spell components here, but we can buy supplies. And we might as well buy all the way up as much as we can carry. And next we need to travel to Nafbal. So what else we have here? You can see the local specialties. That means you can probably buy these goods here at a lower price. There's quests here, so we could go to Ale Village, do a price survey, which means we go there and come back. We can deliver letters to Moonport, or we can deliver letters to Jeffrey Vitch. So let's go ahead and accept both of these quests, because these will give us faction and a little bit of money. These are adventurers we could hire here. We're at a full party, so we don't really need to hire them. This is the goods they can sell or buy here. So they sell carrots at 23 below, fish at 9, salted fish at 9 below, and dried meats at 44 below. So that's what you could buy or sell. We're not going to do that at this point. And in the blacksmith is where you can buy stuff. Let's see, that's simple tools. We already have simple tools, so we don't need more simple tools. They don't have arrows or bolts, but they do have shields. So let's go ahead and buy a shield. And we can sell this and this. And I don't know about the normal crossbow. Okay, then we can leave. If you go here, you'll see what you can do in town too, but the only thing here is buy supplies or abort quests. So now it wants us to go to here, and there should be someplace else we need to go. Nathabal, which I don't see. Oh, Nathabal is way over here. So I think at this point we will call it an episode. And that, I will probably do this for 4 or 5 episodes so you can get a good feel for it, and then move on to something else. But for now, as always, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and give me a like or a comment. And if you dislike the episode, leaving me a dislike's fine. But please leave a comment saying why you disliked it. As always, this is Spidey 1958, and have fun gaming.